Check, check. Check one, check two. Check, check.
Come on in. It's Soap Talk with Karen. Welcome to my first episode. So before we get into the actual show and how we're going to, how we'll format things, I thought I would share a little bit about myself so that you know exactly why I consider myself an expert and how I got to come here to this place, because it's been a very, very long time coming. I grew up watching the stories as a child with my mother, grandmother, and aunts. My earliest memories were watching Love of Life and Search for Tomorrow, but when I got to like junior high school age, I became an avid fan of General Hospital, Young and the Restless, All My Children, One Life to Live, and I even added Santa Barbara to that list, and honestly kept up with all the soaps going on. And then came the day that we were actually able to tape episodes. So I would keep up with Guiding Light, As the World Turns, Another World. One soap I never really got into was Days of Our Lives. And even to this day, I kind of know what's going on. But my favorites are Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, since they're the three of the four that are left, on air right now. As I got older, I bonded with some really good friends who were also huge soap fans, and we were lucky enough to score tickets to the Daytime Emmys when they first opened them up to the public. We started going every year to the Daytime Emmys, and then the after parties, the pre-dinners. After our first Emmy attendance, we stayed at the Marriott that year. We didn't realize most of the stars were at the Sheraton, so we were rookies, and we stayed at the Marriott. And the bellhop asked us how we were going to get over to Radio City, and we said we would probably hop a cab, and he recommended that we call for a limo, because trying to get over there in a cab at that time with everything going on and all the press would be very hard. And he said it would be very reasonable. There was 5 of us to, put together and call for a car, and he recommended somebody, and we did. And we had our gowns on. We stepped out of the limo. We hopped on the red carpet, and sure enough, we were noticed by one of the reporters from Soap Opera Weekly, who wrote about us in her column, her After Emmy column. She didn't know us, and we didn't get to talk to her, but she mentioned that as the limos were arriving, one of the limos, as the doors opened up, it was not Linda Dano nor Susan Lucci, but 5, women soap fans coming from somewhere to attend. And I saw that article, reached out to her. Back in the day, I don't even think we were doing anything electronically. I think I wrote her, or wrote the magazine, and she asked for to meet with us. And we went up to New York and we met with her, and from then on they had us doing a report back to Soap Opera Weekly after the Emmys. So we would report to her about the fashions and the stars and who we talked to and who we had pictures with. And our local news in Philadelphia got wind of that, and they actually did a year-long story on us, following us through the year, how we prepared for our trip, what we did, and how we primped, and they followed us to New York, and we were able to interview the stars on behalf of our local channel. So we really do a lot of things that most people only dream of, as a soap fan. Another thing that I do when I watch my soaps is I watch them from the inside out. So when, not just watching the story and following along with the storylines and getting invested in the characters, but I also paid particular detail to the writing, to the lighting, to the music, and I'm sorry I didn't even get into the field, not as much acting as more production end of it, but I didn't. But now with social media and these opportunities to host your own podcast, and I see what's out there, and I feel like I have something to offer, and I have something that other fans may be interested in hearing and talking back to me and telling their stories. So this is how I got here, and I've been saying I want to do it, and I just bit the bullet. But I have done a lot of research. I've invested in a lot of equipment, and today I'm just actually biting the bullet. I have my microphone, it's attached to my iPhone, and I have a lot of programs, I have a lot of editing software. So this is how we're going to start. And again, I just wanted to introduce myself, tell you a little about myself this first episode, and then from now on we will have a format, an opening. We will be going over the teasers and the spoilers for the week ahead. We'll do behind the scenes talking. We will, I'll give you my take on the storylines, and hopefully you'll give me your take. We'll talk about the comings and goings, and another thing I would like to touch base on is Maurice Bernard's podcast, and how he's addressing state of mind. So Maurice's podcast is State of Mind, and how he is interviewing his fellow castmates and casts from other shows. I know he recently spoke with Eric Braeden, and he's talked to, I don't know if he's talked to Courtney Hope, because there's a lot going on there, as you know. But anyway, these are things that I hope to address in our podcast. And when I get my feedback, if it's something else you want to hear, or something you want to hear, that I'm doing that you want to talk more about, we'll do it from there. I mean, there's so many things going on right now. Today was the big reveal, which I think most people already knew, on Bold and the Beautiful, that Finn is alive, and that his mother, Lee, his adoptive mother, was keeping him alive. So that's keeping that storyline alive. And of course we know that Steffi, her portrayer, will be going on maternity leave. So that's where that is leading. And these are the things we'll talk about every week. I plan to try to put an episode out every week, and I hope you'll all join me. I hope this reaches near and far for all soap fans. And let me know if you want to hear anything else. I'll be doing my podcast through Buzzsprout. And again, I've done a lot of research, and I'm hoping that I can put out something that is, pre-professional, if not professional. And if you have any tips, please feel free to share them with me. And I will be getting the actual, real #1 episode out within the next couple days. Talk to you soon.